rockstars and metalheads, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we're going to be doing another EquineMetalhead Reacts, and as you can see, my Chromebook computer is being poopy again, because, this happens. Lovely. So you're going to have to deal with that. But anyways, today we are going to be reacting to a particular scene in the documentary Buck. Now, I love this show. Like, I've loved it since I was a little kid, like maybe 5 or 6 years old. I first saw it, so like, let me see when it came out. Hold on. Yeah, it came out in 2011, so I was 6 at the time. I was just a baby. And so yeah, ever since then, I've really loved this movie, and I really think this guy is an amazing horse trainer. Let me just, and you guys can watch it, since you can see it's on YouTube, but we actually own the movie, but I mean, hey, if you want to watch it on YouTube, you sure can, without paying any money. And so it says, American cowboy Buck Brannaman has a unique way of communicating with horses, and it's exactly this unorthodox style of training that inspired the novel The Horse Whisperer. In this documentary, director Cindy Meal gets to know, I think that's how you say her last name, gets to know the real-life Buck as she reveals his fascinating story with how an abusive childhood helped teach him the compassion and insight needed to train horses, not with punishment, but by treating them the way he would treat humans, with respect. So that's why I like this guy. He's really good. He's a really nice guy. Alrighty, so this scene, we're going to be reacting to this scene, and what happens here is that we have a 3-year-old colt named Kelly who's like, I think like a Palomino-ish. Well, he's not a Palomino. He doesn't have white hair. He's like a flaxeny chestnut. And, he's kind of, he was raised by humans, but essentially. He was an orphan, like our late horse, Annie. Except she never turned out as bad as this horse did, thank goodness. But, yeah, we're going to react to this, because as an equestrian, I want to give my insight, because when you're, or opinion, because when you're an equestrian, hopefully you should know how horses are going to behave, and how they think. Not 100%, because, I mean, you aren't a horse yourself, but you have a sense of it. Anyways, yeah, let's watch this.
Dan, this guy's a pain, and he was an orphan as a baby.
Wait, actually, I think, well...
And he was oxygen deprived, apparently. Dan, do you want to, which way you guys want to bring him in?
Well, I'm going to stalk the Buck to see if he wants him or not. He may want to, because that horse might hold up the whole progress of the whole class.
So wait until noon?
So he might want to wait until, yeah, when it's convenient.
Maybe at
for
lunch?
Buck, maybe even after the whole deal, I don't know.
Yeah, I was just about to say he was a red dun. Nope, that ain't a red dun. I was right. It's like a flaxeny chestnut color.
I think we have a problem child.
A problem child. That's awesome. I forgot about that.
They make it sound like they're bringing in a Siberian tiger.
Yeah, they're making it sound like it's bigger than something that's bigger than it already is. But I mean, you don't want to underestimate an orphaned horse or a horse with behavioral issues, because they can be so dangerous. Okay, now here's the thing. I'm not trying to make it sound like, oh, horses are dangerous. Well, yes, horses are dangerous, but they don't intend to be dangerous. Most a normally well-trained horse or a normal wild horse is gonna act aggressive if they feel threatened or they are upset and are in pain. Like if a horse is in pain and you're making them do something they are in too much pain to do, they will act up. If you are, like, let's say an abused horse or a wild horse, like you are perceiving a threat, the horse will attack. And or sometimes horses attack out of playfulness, because I mean, like, you can play with a horse and you could be running around with them and you could be at the wrong place and they could accidentally kick you. So, but that wouldn't be really considered attacking. That would be an accidental kick. It's orphans that are really, really, really bad.
Was he hard to catch even in the trailer, Dan?
I just kind of wanted to be a little aggressive in there.
What? What do you mean? He's not acting aggressive. He's not... What are you talking about? Yeah, sure, he's acting up, because, I mean, he's a stud. But... And most... I mean, not all studs act the same, but, like, most of them are pretty hyper. Because of all that testosterone. They're like, whoa, I smell mirrors! You know? So, it's like a teenage boy when they see a girl for the first time. It's a girl! I'm just joking, by the way.
Was he hard to catch even in the trailer, Dan?
Doctor just kind of wanted to be a little aggressive in their bite, maybe.
He was not trying to bite you, Dan.
Uh-huh.
At least yet.
Threatening, you know.
How old is he?
Just 3.
Uh-huh.
He's not doing anything. Stop yanking on his face.
His mom died at birth and I pulled him and blew him back to life. And at 3.5 months, I got my back broken in 2 places. So he has not been handled.
So he was more or less raised like an orphan.
Yeah.
Those can be the worst kind. The
Right.
orphans are always the worst because they don't learn anything about respect that they would have learned from their mother or
Right.
from other horses.
Absolutely. Because the best teacher for a horse, an orphaned horse, is another horse. And so this is exactly what happened with Annie. Annie was an orphan. Her mom died during birth. And when, you know, and she had some behavioral issues. However, she wasn't this bad. And over time, she actually mellowed out pretty well. Sure, she's acted up before and kicked my mom, but she's never, like, tried to trample anyone or, like, attack someone. It was, like, a one-time thing, and then she was done. Annie wasn't this bad, but orphans can be bad because when you're a human, you aren't communicating this. I mean, sure, horses can understand you, but they don't respect you like they would respect another horse. Yes, they respect you, but they don't respect you the same way they would respect another horse. So this horse was basically just not taught respect, and that's why orphans can get really bad. And it's usually the orphans that have bad behavioral issues.
They don't respect anything or anybody.
He was just acting like a stud there. He wasn't doing anything.
I should put him down. They thought maybe he had some brain damage. He's extremely dangerous, and he attacks cars.
I'm sure you're anxious to get that one in here, Dan. And step in behind him there.
When he was an orphan, I didn't have a barn because my house burned down and my barn burned down, so I raised him. It was cool, so I raised him in the house. It was cold, and I bottle fed him every couple of hours. And
the best thing you can do for an orphaned horse is put them with a surrogate mother, like a mare that can adopt the foal. And if the mare doesn't have milk, you know, because like if she, like you could put the baby in with another foal, but with the mom, but like the mom might not be nice to it if she already has a foal. Also, so just put it with a mare of some kind. Doesn't have to be one that lost her baby, or just put them with the mare and bottle feed it, but just leave it with the mare. So like that way they're still, you know, taught respect by a horse, like what would be a mother figure, just isn't able to be like milked or like breastfed, except it's not boobs. It's like, I don't know.
how do you say? Potty train him?
I mean, that's pretty cool. You were able to... Okay, that's the only cool thing she did. Potty trained a horse. That's the only thing I will give her respect for. Other than that, you're stupid, lady.
Somebody else has to come in and help me. He's different.
And he's a stud, too?
Dad, I haven't had a chance to
Yeah, I'd do that the sooner the better. And it looks to me like the last thing you need is a damn stud. If you're gonna have one, a lot of you guys, you just well get your grizzly bear and orangutan.
Okay, but that isn't necessarily true. That's one thing I do disagree with Buck, is that not all studs act like a grizzly, aren't aggressive. They are only aggressive when they are handled wrong and kept away from other horses. You can put them in with mares as long as they aren't in heat. If they are in heat, then yeah, they're gonna try and, you know, do what you... I'm not gonna say it or else I'm gonna get demonetized. But, like, you can put studs with other horses as long as they aren't in heat, or other stallions as long... and geldings as long as they get along, because, you know, don't isolate stallions, because that just makes them bad. That just makes them act up more. Yes.
I've known
Yeah.
Buck for over 20 years, and I've seen one other horse besides Kelly a stallion that stands out. But I've never, ever witnessed anything quite like that dangerous and unpredictable.
This is actually a really smart tactic, because instead of roping a horse by their neck, you want to have them by their foot, because you have more control over a horse by their feet than you do by their face or their neck. And besides, having a rope around a horse's neck in a spot where, like, a particular spot where their pole could be, like where their pole is, you could accidentally pull so hard that you break their neck. Which is why rope halters that are tied wrong can be very dangerous if a horse pulls back. So that's why we use a slip knot when we tie rope halters on our horses, because in case if they pull back the rope, will just break off instead of break their neck. So yeah, that's why it's best to rope a horse by their feet.
Is somebody planning on trimming his feet someday?
Yeah.
Any shoers here? Come on, you cowards. You want to shoe him right now, or would you rather I got him a little better?
I love this.
Because Dan's going to saddle him and ride him around here in a minute. A lot of you that don't understand much about a rope, you'll find out I can stop him. And that's going to come in handy for you, Dan. When you're on him, you're going to be real glad that I can stop him. Once you understand how much more control I have by a hind foot than I would by a halter on his head, you already know.
Exactly, I just said that. He's so correct, right.
He can't control with a halter on his head because he's been chewing on people and has already been aggressive and wanting to attack people. Yeah, I want you guys to understand, you can't hold it against him for kind of how his life has been. A little bit, he'll lead soft. Okay, Dan, you can come on in. We're just going to kind of love on him for right now. Just kind of ease up beside him, just pet him. Come on over with your blanket, and you'll just go up and rub him. Yeah.
You're probably wondering why he hasn't already been broke to ride to non-equestrians, because, I mean, an equestrian would be like, well, we already know why. Because you usually break a horse to ride and be saddle broke at like 2 years old. Well, since this horse is so aggressive, they weren't able to do that until now, so I'm just explaining that's why. Some horses don't get broke until they're 10. Depends on, you know,
You kind of, well, his frame of mind
the kind of
is
horse, but most
kinda
horses
normal
are
like
broken at that
You can
age.
cuddle him and kind of love on him too. So just pet him on the hind leg. Now just see if you can just gently pick up the hoof. That's the way. There you go. You can go around the front, rub him on his face there when he's being a good guy. Watch him, block him when he wants to bite you. Block. That's the biggest thing, is nobody's ever blocked him.
We had to put out the sign.
That's good, yeah. Yeah, if a horse goes to bite you, you block him. And if the horse actually does make contact with you, aggressive, now, it's only if it's an aggressive bite. Like, if they're, like, because horses will scratch each other by nipping at each other's backs. So if they're just, like, trying to show love and scratch you, they might accidentally get you. And so don't hit them if they do that. They're just being nice. But if a horse aggressively, like, pins their ears and grabs you by the arm, you smack them. But that's the only time you get to hit a horse, and then you're done. You do it, it's a one-time thing, and then you're done. And that's really important for people to realize, because they're like, hitting animals is abuse. Only if you hit them for the wrong reasons.
That says attack horse, because if somebody did walk into the pasture, he would have taken him out. One time, some people started teasing him, and I went up to him about 12 feet away in this golf cart, thinking that would bring him away from the fence, and instead he looked back at me, pinned his ears, ducked his head, and did that aggressive horse behavior, and came right at me. Going, striking, feet, everything, and he pretty much came up over the golf cart and nailed me.
I'll go for a little walk with him.
Well, I mean, you did say that he attacks cars, so you coming in there with a golf cart, he was going to attack you either way, lady, so what you did was pretty stupid. You could have just been like, hey, you guys need to stop teasing him, because this horse will attack you. But I mean, yeah. People are assholes, so I mean, they probably wouldn't have listened to it either way. I probably would have just let him take them out and teach them a lesson. So,
Now we're going to stop him. Petty, you're the good cop there, man. You just love on him. Rub him down that hind leg. Looks good. Just get on him like his grandma's horse. All right. Pick your lead rope up so it's not dragging there. So you can kind of bend him if you need to the left. Pet him. You just rub him all over like you're just totally in love.
well, maybe he was broken, because, I mean, he's being pretty nice about it, so.
Okay, walk off again. Yeah, go ahead. Just say, come on, let's go, Yeller. There you go. Pet him when he goes, see?
By the way, him smacking his butt like that with his hand didn't do anything, because he was just going like this. And that didn't hurt me. I just lightly smacked my leg. That didn't hurt me. So that won't hurt him unless you like deliberately hit them so hard that it hurts.
You gotta remember that. Now maybe we can lope him. You got an opportunity. There. Go ahead, go on. Pet him. Pet him. Rub him on the back. We don't want to think every time he feels anything back there, he's just gonna get whacked. Good job. I'm gonna stop you now. Okay, you can step off him nice and clean. This isn't open for discussion. At this point, Dan is the only one permitted to lead this horse anywhere. And then later on, maybe a little short evening session, you can work him on the end of your lead rope in here, but it's just you and him by yourself.
I was really embarrassed because he said nobody should have a stud horse, and I'm thinking, God, if he only knew I had a whole pasture full at home.
Bruh! 1 or 2 studs is good, lady. Unless it's like a video game or a model collection, then whatever. But if it's like a real life, you don't need a bunch of studs in a pasture running around.
That I have, and then he said not letting him get his head over so he can bite. Well, it's healed up pretty well, but I'm gonna have that the rest of my life. Yeah.
Good for you, I guess.
You know, I have thousands of horses under my belt and lots of experience. And hell, the safest place around this son of a bitch is on him.
Mm-hmm.
You felt fine when you were on him. But around him on the ground, he's treacherous because of what he's, you know, gotten to be. And he could hurt Dan or me or you or anybody else just in being spoiled. And he doesn't want to be that way. But he doesn't know any other way to be. He's as close to having been turned into a predator as you're going to find.
Exactly. Horses can become predators. They just don't eat you. You know, they could easily kill you. I mean, if they kick you in the head, like, it's over. Like, you know how powerful a horse kick is? It's twice the force of a sledgehammer to the face. Like, or if you get stomped on and then you get internal bleeding, like, that's not good. You get thrown off good and you break your neck. You're not going to last very long. And it's just like, you know, they can kill you. They can flip up over on you and smash you. They can grab you and get down on their front legs and just like crush you. Like, horses are not to be underestimated. And this horse definitely has turned into a predator because of her. Bish, what are you doing that close to the fence? Buck said not to, like, Bish! He bites! Don't!
He's been wrecked.
He is wrecked.
I'd want to give the older horses a chance to get him some manners.
He's run with some studs, and
You're nuts for having that many studs running together, lady. I'm telling you that. Most people don't need studs, and for God's sake, they don't need 18 of them.
Bish, exactly. You don't need 18 stallions running around.
Don't know what you're trying to prove. And if you got a lot going on in your life, probably a lot of it's a lot bigger story than this horse. You ought to be a SEAL team member or something, as much risk as you like to take. Why don't you learn how to enjoy your life? Life's too damn short. This horse tells me quite a bit about you. So this is just an amplified situation of what is. Maybe there's some things for you to learn about you. That maybe the horses are going to be the only damn way you're going to learn it. Because you might not listen to somebody else. Well, that's all right. Sometimes I don't either, and I should. Ask my wife. I love the horses, but I have a responsibility to my fellow human too. You know, if I think maybe you might do something to get yourself hurt and you don't even see it coming, if I see it coming, I have a moral obligation to say, you're in big trouble here.
Okay, yeah, that is absolutely 100% aggressive behavior. What he just did there, he ran up to the fence, had his ears pinned, and tried to bite the person over on the other side. So, see that? Yeah, his ears were pinned. So,
if you feel safer, just rope him. You rope him. I need to get my horse kind of warmed up a little bit.
I got added today, right?
now you're going to see here just how dangerous horses really can be. Okay, so as you can see here, Kelly clearly does not want to have the blanket put on him. Now, yeah, saddle pad, not blanket. Now, yeah, horses have the right to say, I don't want this. You don't want that to get to a point where you're a pushover and say, oh, you don't want to go over this bridge? That's fine, because, like, you gotta make them do something they don't want to do. It's like life, you know, how you don't want to go to school, but you have to go to school anyway. Well, it's like, yeah, you gotta I'm gonna put the saddle on you, and you're gonna like it either way. But I mean, like, at the same time, horses do deserve breaks. Since he's wrecked by that person, you don't want to push him so far, because it could end in you in the hospital dead, so. So he just reared up right there, and that's usually when a horse rears up, that's usually either a sign they are in pain, and the only way they can go is up. They are in fear, and that's the only way they can go is up, or they want to intimidate you, like they want to make themselves look bigger, like they would with a prey animal. They'll rear up on their two hind legs and make themselves look bigger, and that's what he was doing here. And then he keeps moving away, and he's like letting him know, I don't want to. Sorry, Dan clearly is not getting the message. He just jumped up a little bit saying, hey, I don't want this, and he's backing up. And he is just, you know, rushing it too much. Yep. He's not this horse isn't a psychopath. But did you see what happened here? Kelly told Dan, I don't want to do this. He's given Dan plenty of warnings, but he doesn't listen and keeps forcing it, so he pins his ears, bares his teeth, and tramples him to the ground. He bit him in the head, too, so. Yes. That's what you need to pay attention to horse body language, because if you don't, you could get yourself killed, and I've had that nearly happen. We rescued this horse, and his name was Bolt. He was abused to the point that he was so aggressive, he could not be in there with him unless other horses were in there. And we were feeding horses, and I was just a little kid, and Bolt had pinned me into a corner. And since I was little, I didn't know what was happening. I just thought he was pushing me out of the way. But no, he pinned me into a corner. He had his ears pinned. And my dad came up and punched him in the face. And I'm like, why did you do that? And he's like, Sienna, did you not see what he was going to do? He was about to attack you. And I'm like, what? And he's like, Sienna, when a horse's ears are pinned and they have you pinned in a corner, that means they're going to attack you. And I'm like, oh. So I'm glad my dad did that. So, 'cause, I mean, I was just a kid. And so, but yeah. He's not a psychopath.
Get out. You're bleeding. He got you in the head. Get out. That's it. I'm done. You got it? Here, Dan. Hop down. Just hop down.
Well, I need to stay.
I know. I'm sorry.
That's right.
You need sutures. It's a huge hole. Here.
That's pretty bad. You always carry something with you just in case.
I'm gonna have to put him down.
I really wish they didn't put this horse down, though, because, I mean, he still has... Well, I mean, if Buck couldn't... I actually really think Buck should have just taken him and fixed him himself, because, like, I think it was a little irresponsible having Dan just go in there by himself. It's really sad, though.
No.
You want to see the chin?
Oh, look what he did to my head.
He bit you in the head?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
You mean knock me over?
Okay, go sit down in my mom's car right there.
Why?
Because I'm taking you to get stitches. It's deep. But you can see
All
the bone
big
and the...
fuss they make about it is get it clean and closed.
Mr. Brannaman, you need to talk a little sense into Dan, and I figure you're probably the only one that can do it.
Dang. About the third time I got that saddle blanket up over his back, boy, I didn't even see him, man. He hit me with his teeth, boy, and knocked me flat. Get it stitched up.
Yeah. Let's punch him in the face.
What you gonna do?
We're gonna have to put him down. I won't give him off to somebody who's gonna beat him to a pulp with a 2x4. It's not something you do, and he's dangerous. I'm gonna put him down, and that's the most humane thing to do for him.
I'm glad you're making it humane. I just hope you didn't send him to a slaughterhouse, because they don't make it humane. They shoot horses in the head. That ain't humane. That's just murder. But, the reason why this horse is dangerous, lady, is because you ruined him. You ruined him.
Gail, get out of there. Yeah, do not get close to him. Step back.
Oh my goodness, he struck again! See, yes, you don't want to be too close. Yeah, he had his ears pinned, bared his teeth, and went to try to bite him again. Yeah. This is aggressive horse behavior 101.
Yeah, do not get close to him.
Step back away from him.
Get the fudge away. Thank you.
Step back away from him.
Like, I say that to him all the time. Like, I say, shut up to him every 10 seconds.
Yeah, he's being aggressive now.
So, I'm getting info off
Oh, you tried. If Buck let his guard down, he'd probably could have gotten hurt too, so.
Just sit still. Just wait.
No. I just thought
Come on, Cal. Come on, Cal. Come on.
Sit still. Just sit still.
Exactly, listen to the professional, crazy lady.
Just sit still. Just don't do anything.
You guys want to join me and see my avatar? Or no? It's based off, it's not a Taylor Swift, it's an Olivia Rodrigo. It's Ronaldo and Messi!
Yes, that's exactly how you do it.
Where anyone gets suspended?
You should be crying, lady, because you are the reason this horse is doomed.
Would you talk to us a little bit about the colt that left yesterday?
Well, I'll talk to you right now. The colt, when it was born, was not breathing when they got to it, and they didn't know for how long. So the vet even figured that the horse had been oxygen deprived for quite a long period of time. But he still could have made it in spite of his handicap that he was born with. He could have made it. If you just would treat this as if that horse, because of the oxygen deprivation, had some sort of a learning disability. Well, number one, they should have worked with him like you might work with a disabled child and said, look, you might need a little bit of extra education because of where you're coming from. So you could have taken that disabled child and turned him into something of value to himself and everyone else. And he may have ended up just a kind, nice little horse that didn't have a lot to offer mentally, but was just kind of okay with people, and he might have packed someone around. He might have been the absolute opposite of what he is. But you know damn good and well, she would go home and she would either get hurt, get killed, or someone else would get hurt that was totally innocent. The human failed that horse. The human is that X factor. That horse is a mirror. All your horses are a mirror to your soul.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and leave a like by punching the like button right in the face. And I'd really appreciate it if you smash the red subscribe button and ding the notification bell to become part of the family. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace, love, and blessings to you all. Bye.